Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Nice Shot Productions. My name's Seth Harwood. I'm joined here by Mike. Say hi, Mike.
Hello.
And we're going over the 2013 Veterans Park Open final round. This is part 2, picking up on hole 13 where we left off. Right now we've got Jared Roan sitting 7 under, Sean Worley at 3 under, and Miles Seaborn, Theth Sien, and Eric McCabe sitting 2 under. So still a little bit of work left to catch Jared. Let's see if anybody can pick up some strokes. Starting back off on hole 13, this is the gold tee. It's going to be about 500 feet, pretty open field, one big tree in the way, and a lot of headwind on this hole. And Eric looks like he's getting his drive out there, but it looks like it flips over on him. Yeah, there's that headwind. You can see it really blowing those tree branches.
Yeah, those little flags are just whipping around.
Yeah. Here's Sean throwing out a destroyer that manages to fight the wind pretty well. He's going to come up a little short, but really that's all you can hope for out here right now. What do you think of this headwind? Try and brave a roller at it?
I'm not that brave.
Yeah, gotta go with that air shot. Just something safe. Yeah, it's getting that one out there. Looks like it stalls a little bit with that headwind. Here's Theth. He's been known to throw a roller, but looks like he's trying to keep it up, and it just flips over too much for him. He's gonna be way out wide right. Here's Miles coming up. He's got to make a little bit of room. He's not been having too much luck so far this first half.
It looks like he puts it out there, like he airs it out a little bit, but looks like it stalled out, huh?
Yeah, it came down hard. That definitely got up high and stalled out on him. Teddy getting his up shot. Looks like he's taking, driver takes a huge skip.
Yeah.
Wow, that skip really caught that wind and
It was a monster skip.
Yeah. Eric trying, looks like the same thing.
He doesn't look too happy with that shot.
No,
He's wanted to push over more to the left, huh?
Yeah, I think he just hung it out there wide right and it stalled on him, dropped. Big putt and just catches the change left side.
Bummer, for sure.
Theth Sien just floating one over the basket. Here's Jared for his par. Yeah, I got that tailwind. You see it just drop it in there.
Yeah, the flags behind him, you can see those the wind directions.
Yeah.
It's pushing it.
Miles spits out with Paul Macbeth watching. Man, you really don't want to have that guy back there watching if you miss a putt. So everybody's going to take a bogey here except for Jared. So he's going to stay at 7 under. And that brings us to hole 14, one of our temp holes. This is about 430, 450 feet, playing into a little peninsula with OB surrounding the basket. You can't really go too long on this one, or else you're going to be in real trouble, get up over that wall and have to take a penalty stroke.
He cranked one out there, it looks like.
Yeah.
Good kick off that retaining wall.
Yeah, skip off the sidewalk, catch the retaining wall. He's going to have a decent shot at it too.
I'd be happy with it.
Here's Sean. He's going a little wide right. Yeah, it's not going to have the legs to get back. Well, a little bit of a skip, but he's going to have a long putt coming in. Here's Eric going straight at it.
What was he throwing there? Truth or?
No, with that long, I think he's throwing another giant, and he just throws right into the ground. That didn't get too far at all.
Burning some worms.
Yeah. Here's Teddy getting one out wide, getting a little bit higher, though. That might have a chance to come back in if it's long enough. And he just comes up a little short. Here's somebody who definitely can get it there. Let's see, Miles. He's not happy with that one again.
Yeah, anytime you walk off the tee pad and not watch your shot, you're not too happy with that.
No. He's been struggling a little bit. Definitely not his usual game.
It's a good run right there, though. He about popped it in, gave it a little bit of room to play.
Yeah, keep it out wide. Don't play with the OB. Give you a chance to get up and down. Teddy getting one high up there. Not sure if he meant to do that or not. Here's Sean. Oh, just a little too low. And there's Jared. He's got a good look at a deuce.
Just over the top. Bounces off that retaining wall.
Yeah, flirting with that OB, taking a run at it. So everybody's going to stay with a par, so Jared's still leading, 7 under. Sean's behind him at 2 under. That brings us to hole 15, another temp hole, playing about 400 feet. Kind of wide open. You got 2 trees on the right-hand side that you're going to have to either get over or stay under and get a good skip at the basket. And Jared teeing off. Takes one out a little wide right.
What's the wind doing here? A little left to right, or?
It's a bit of a headwind, a little bit left to right, really. But definitely gusting about 20-30 miles an hour, really.
Texas wind at its best.
Oh yeah, that's what you come down here for, is a lot of good old Texas wind. Eric knows how to play that Texas wind, gets one going straight up between those trees, and catches a pretty good skip.
Threads the needle there, it looks like.
Yeah.
Hey, they say no thrills for the cautious, right?
That's true. If you want to pick up some strokes, you're really going to have to go for it. Here's Teddy trying to go for it, and it looks like it flips over. He's going to dig into the ground a little bit too early. Miles, again, he's got to pick it up if he wants to get some strokes on Jared. And looks like he gets his a little low. Skip, and there's that retaining fence that you don't want to get behind. And he's going to be close to being behind there.
Yeah, that will not be a good look if he's directly behind that.
Teddy making sure he can get an up and down. There's Miles. Looks like he's got some room to work around it.
Yeah, you can float one at it.
And he puts one right at it. Parks the basket, so he's going to take a 3 there. Here's Jared for his deuce and short arms it right into the pan. Not what you want to have happen. See if Eric can get another big long putt going here.
Wedding band.
Yeah.
Everybody's nightmare, right?
Yeah, you can hear that across the whole course when somebody hits it. So everybody's going to pick up a par there. Nothing changes. And Jared's still sitting 7 under. That brings us to hole 16, which is about 480, 490. Pin's been pushed to its longest position, and you're going to have to throw. You want to keep it a little bit left of that yellow pole that's down there. And Jared, just a monster drive. Takes a little bit right, but he's not going to be too bad off.
You should like that shot.
Yeah, I wish I could throw this one that far. This one's really a roller for me. Any chance of getting close to the basket.
Definitely.
And there's Sean. His is just dying out a little bit. He's in that nice landing area. Here's Eric using the whole tee pad here.
That's one thing about Texas I like. A lot of good tee pads, you know?
Good courses, yeah, good tee pads. Definitely don't like the short ones. And Eric gets a good skip. He's going to be sitting probably about 80, 90 feet away. Here's Teddy.
He's
Just
turned
turned
a roller.
Yeah, throwing a roller.
Watch out.
Catches, yeah, a couple bumps here and there, but that's going to turn out all right. Sitting there right with Eric.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
And here's Miles again.
What's he throwing?
I don't know what Miles is throwing. I know he's one of the Double D sponsored players. I think he's throwing a lot of Latitude.
Trilogy. This guy.
Another Trilogy. Those are catching on a lot of popularity right now. And he gains about 50 feet on everybody else.
Yeah, that's a monster drive.
There's Theth trying to get a jump putt up there and digs into the ground. Oh, he's not going to be happy with that one.
That wind kept that thing up.
Eric trying to get around the tree, just catches it dead center. Jared got some strokes to play with, so he's just going to make sure that he can get up and down, takes a nice, safe approach to the basket. Looking at Miles coming in. Yeah, right underneath it.
Hit and
Safe
pull.
shot.
Yeah.
Sean, same thing. Nice safe shot. Here's Theth with a long 3.
Just shorts it, floats it up that wind. Look like it picked it up a little bit.
A little bit. You can see it floating around there. And Eric misses. Wow, didn't even hit chains on that one.
That's not like him at all.
So Theth and Eric taking bogeys. Jared's still sitting 7 under, leading it. And that brings us to hole 17, which is about 206 feet. This one's another short one where you have to get a birdie if you want to keep where you're at in the pack or even gain a stroke on somebody who misses. And looks like Jared's throwing that gator that he already has an ace, trying to get another one.
Trying to get that skip up in that basket for sure.
Yeah, definitely a lot of hard dirt, but no big jump on it. Let's see if Sean, he's throwing that Captain America driver, see if he can get a good jump at it. And, well, a little short.
It's not a bad shot.
No, it's a... Oh, wow. Miles throwing a Scooby at it. Here's another shot of him throwing it, and... Wait for it.
Wow.
Oh. Throwing darts at the pin. That almost took it out.
That was a great shot.
Here's Eric, a little more traditional. See that wind bouncing around? Oh, he takes a big skip out. That's going to leave him with a pretty long putt for a 2.
Teddy here.
Teddy taking nice safe, little hop, skip, and a jump. Yeah, he's going to be about 10 feet out. That's a great shot. Here's Eric with a long deuce. Off the top, and yeah, he's pretty upset with that one right there. So everybody else is picking up their 2s. Jared going to 8 under. Eric with the par sitting at even. And here's hole 18 gold. This is about 360 feet. Pin's going to be tucked back in a little cove of trees, and these guys are looking like they're throwing up over these trees. That's a pretty brave shot. There you see a shot of the pin.
Taking the trees out of the equation for sure.
I guess. You're taking the trees out, but you're playing a lot with that wind. Yeah, Sean goes big again. And he's going to come up short into the trees. Miles going up big.
Looks like there's like an anti-route there, or straight down the tunnel to the left, or...
Well, I would think a tunnel down the left under the trees, but these guys seem to want to go real high over, maybe take something really, really stable, get a little bit of Anheuser to it, and let it come back out.
They're flexing.
Yeah. And Theth's going to be left, but he looks like he should be out in the open with a good look at the basket. Eric looks like he didn't get Hez out wide enough, but he shouldn't be too happy or too upset with it. There's Theth. Now you see the pin's down there and the trees just past that dark grove of trees. You really can't go too long on this one because I've seen a lot of people get into those and you can't make a putt out of there. It's real thick, but that disc slides underneath it all.
Just get a good upshot and tap in your 3.
See, there's Jared taking a nice, easy approach at it. And there's Sean with a huge par save. Now, he had to chip out to get to there, and that was just money. Teddy looking like he clipped a tree on that putt. Here's Miles needing a big putt and gets it. And there's another big par save.
It's a good shot.
So Theth clipping the tree with his putt, takes a bogey. Jared, familiar, still leading with 8 under. That brings us to hole 19. This is the gold tee. It says about 525, probably a little bit longer, downhill, and you're playing out towards that little yellow pole that you see over on the left-hand side, and Jared crushes one.
Bombed it.
Oh, wow.
What's the wind doing on this hole?
This
looks a little calmer, right? Or
it looks a little calmer. You're getting back into the trees, but it's still, if you get too high, it's going to be a bit of a headwind. It's kind of that same shot coming off of 13 where we started this part 2 from.
Gotcha.
And Miles throwing one low, trying to take the wind out of it. And coming in a little short. Not as long as I thought he'd be able to get that out there. There's Eric. Familiar hyzer flip, same shot every single time, no matter what it is for him. Oh, and just catches that tree.
Clipped it.
Yeah. Try and play it close, try and get closer to the basket, but you do have to worry for that tree over there. There's Teddy. Looking like he's getting a little wide right.
It's probably going to end up pretty nice.
Yeah, that's not bad. Stays clear of those trees. Now here's Eric, clipped the tree off the drive, but has a good look at the pin. Disc is bouncing. That's a pro shot right there. He parks it for his up shot.
That's a great shot.
That's got to give you a good feeling to try and get that.
Teddy with his up shot here. Looks like everybody's putting it pretty close. He's rolled out a little bit.
Not bad. Miles again, another flick shot. Not used to seeing everybody throwing a flick here, but he gets it close too. There's Jared again, one of those fast players. Barely catch him, but
sit down there, disc.
Not bad. Teddy with about 25 feet and drains it.
Yeah.
Good 3 save. So everybody's going to pick up a par here. Jared still leading 8 under. Sean's back at 3 under. Miles at 2 under. And here is hole 20. This is going to be another one of our temp holes. It's about 385, maybe 400. And Jared leading it off, opting for the hyzer route.
It's a bomb.
That is. Look at him coming in there.
Parks it.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It's a good
400
shot.
feet, dead tailwind. That tailwind's not going to be doing you any favors either. There's Sean getting it through that gap again. Now, if it was me, I wouldn't deal with the OB on that sidewalk over there and throwing through that gap. I would have gone with the little hyzer flip, try and maybe ante it.
There's an anti-route on this hole.
There is, but none of these guys are wanting anything to do with it. They're just going for it. And Miles finally showing that big arm and out wide right, but even overthrows the basket a little
What's
bit.
he out, about 50 or so?
I think he's a little bit further out than that. Eric bouncing over that tree.
That thing is air bouncing like no tomorrow.
Saved him from it, though. He's going to come in. Oh, that's a great skip.
There you go.
That's a good shot. That's what he needed. Missed a putt, and now he's going to be able to make this one back up.
Teddy taking that anti-route.
Yeah, he's going out left, trying to take the OB out of the equation.
That tailwind just smashed that thing down.
Yeah, pushes it down. I mean, you're throwing uphill this whole way. It's tough to get it up that high and that far. So he's going to be laying up. Good shot. There you go. He's going to make that par putt. Sean with a nice jumper.
Yeah, that thing just gets smashed.
Yeah, that wind. There's Miles. You can see just how far out he is. Yeah, just
Do the wave.
Wind's pushing it down. So Jared and Eric only deuces on that one. That means Jared's going to 9 under. And this brings us to hole 21, another temporary hole. This one's a little bit of a shorty, only about 250 feet. And Jared going with the flick shot, but catches all of that tree, just drops straight down. See, I would have thought they would have gone with a high. Yeah, go with the hyzer right there. Play it safe.
Parked all day long.
Oh yeah, that's what you need. Yeah, that looks like what the shot should call for, and Sean's going with a big spike hyzer.
Looks like everybody's going just out of the ordinary here besides Eric so far.
Sean comes up a little bit short. Here's Miles. Another spike hyzer. Looks like that release was a little bit soft. Yeah, he comes up short too.
He's underneath that big old tree.
I'm surprised after watching Eric, nobody else just took that straight mid-range driver. Just small hyzer. There you go. Teddy's doing it.
Teddy learned there.
He's picked up a little bit and right into the tree too. Wonder if that thing has a magnet in it.
Look like it.
Jared clipping a little bit of a tree, but he's going to be under the basket and take a par. Teddy running at it. Looks like just a little bit low. Miles needing a big putt.
Yeah, just low.
Didn't get it. Sean, maybe he can birdie it. No.
Wonder if the wind coming off the pond there is a big factor why everybody went with that spike hyzer.
Maybe. But still. Eric taking a birdie. Everybody else taking pars. Jared still leading 9 under. This brings us up to hole 22. One of our favorite temp holes. Playing about 520 feet. Eric after the birdie, teeing off first. Looks like he's trying to thread down through those trees. Catches a limb, but catches a good roll with it.
That's a good roll. This looks like a really nice designed hole.
It's a fun hole. If you get too much water, though, that drainage that they're teeing off of can't play the hole. So whenever we get the chance to in a tournament, it's always fun. And Jared smashes one over the trees.
That's a bomb.
That is. Even caught the camera guy by surprise. Didn't even think he was getting that far. There's Sean with his Blizzard Destroyer, I believe. One of his favorite discs today. Coming in, almost takes out our camera guy. Oh, got to keep on your toes in this game.
Surprise, huh?
Yeah. Here's Miles. Nice smooth shot. Looks like he's trying to get down in the middle. And he's going to be sitting down there with Eric, so not a bad spot to be in. Here's Teddy. Nice safe hyzer.
Looks like this shot to do. Let's go up over the top.
Yeah, I definitely don't think Theth has the arm for that, so he's down there with Miles and Eric.
3 of them about the same spot.
Yeah, Miles throwing the flick shot over H. Pierce's car over there.
Looks like it.
Yeah, might not be bad. Put a little skip shot off the windshield, see if you can't park the basket that way.
Style points.
Oh yeah, always got to look out for those. And Eric throwing his pure, getting up, playing with the wind right over there, and that's why I throw a pure now. Now right past this pin over the hill is the entrance to this park, so you got to be careful about going too long getting OB. There's a good shot of it right there. Theth drains it, catches chains, and just snags it.
Good putt. Looks like kind of a little death putt there if you got, what do you have, about 10 feet to play with on the other side?
Maybe about 15, and Eric drains his putt. That's what he needed. Yeah, about 15 feet past the basket, but really if you're going for it, there's a good chance you're going long. So everybody manages to pick up their pars. Nothing changes. Jared still leading by with a 9 under. Sorry. And here is hole 23, next to last one. This one's going to be about 240, 250. Eric teeing off with a stable mid-range and clips the pole. Oh man, he's not going to be happy with that one. Jared throwing, looks like a stable driver maybe.
Looks like it. Get a little bit of a skip up the sidewalk there.
Yeah, brave man flirting with the OB. Look at it just dance there next to the bucket. Oh, that's going to be a drop in too. It's tough to catch him right now. He's not making any mistakes.
Yeah, he's keeping it together.
Sean's coming in. Looks pretty good. Oh, way short. A lot shorter.
It looked like it was coming in kind of deep, but died out.
Thought he was going to get around the tree. No, here's Miles. Going with the same skip shot.
That's short too.
Huh. That's 2 in a row that are going short.
Let's see what Teddy does here.
He's going to have to put something on it. Looks like everybody's throwing a little low, and he does. Looks like he flips over. That's got to come back, and oh no, he catches the build and goes OB. So here's Teddy taking his penalty stroke, throwing 3. And he's going to get up and down, take a bogey 4 there. And Eric with a long 2. Floating it in. Just didn't have enough. Fades out, and he's going to have to settle for a par.
Miles doing the same thing, it looked like.
Yeah. Sean with a jump putt just clips the tree. Looked like it had a chance, and there's Jared with his drop in too. So going to 10 under. Theth taking his bogey, sitting 1 over. And that brings us up to our final hole, hole 24. This is the old 18, the gold tee. This one's playing about 500 feet, going downhill, then back uphill, and this is into a straight headwind, and you've got a lot of danger both left and right off this fairway. And Jared teeing off first, last hole. Here you can see those 2 mounds with the yellow tape. That's going to be OB, and Jared pulls it left, goes OB, but that's not a bad spot to go out of bounds at. Eric trying to keep one straight and
Flips it over.
yeah, flips over, and he's going to be in those trees, which is not where you want to be.
That's just a monster of a hole, you know?
It really is. It's kind of like hole 2 earlier, just kind of messes with your head a little bit. Got a real tight fairway that you're going to have to manage.
That's not a bad.
Seemed like the shot to
bad
do
way
would
to
just
do
get
it.
up to that short tee there and then go up to the basket.
Ideally, that's what I would think you'd want to do. Here's Miles.
Heck yeah. Come on, baby. Stay safe.
Oh,
Stay safe.
cranks one down the center. It's going to
Just
stay.
stays in.
Yeah, stays in bounds. Just what he needed. Here's Theth. Looks like he's going low again.
He actually
Wow.
made a mistake that
yeah.
paid off for him.
Right short of the short tee box.
Did he go B?
I think he went OB, or no, there's his disc. Looks like he stayed in.
Nice.
How'd it turn out over there?
Theth taking his second shot, Trying to make a run for it. Oh, just clips a tree off the right-hand side of the fairway and drops down. Gonna be tucked in. Not too bad of a spot, though.
Jared, huh?
Yeah, Jared takes his penalty stroke and just laces one.
He's ranked number 2. Look at that.
That's going to be
Went out of
pretty. Come on.
bounds.
Yeah,
That's
just
third.
skipping up there. Nothing too dangerous, just playing it safe, really.
It's Eric coming out. And back in again, it looks like. He's not going to be happy with that shot.
Taking that flick shot out of the trees back into him. Sean going with the thumber. He's not afraid to pull that out on a few holes so far. Looks like he catches those trees on the right-hand side. Miles only one to really stay in the middle of the fairway, taking a flick. Looking good. Oh, just
Wow.
nails it. Eric throwing a roller? Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's not happy with that.
No, just rolls about 20 feet forward and he's stuck. Teddy taking a flick shot.
Did he pop OB?
I think he popped OB there.
Wow.
Eric, another flick shot and another bad result. Not a hole you want to end on like that.
No. Big tournament, you want to finish strong.
Oh, definitely. Don't want to give any strokes up. You haven't had any blow-up holes yet. And you might end up taking a blow-up hole in the last one. Here's Jared playing it safe.
Playing it safe, yeah. He's got it in the bag. Yeah, Teddy went OB.
There he is. So take a penalty stroke. Oh, telling it to roll away.
Yeah, you got to talk to that disc sometimes.
Yeah, tell it who's boss. Yeah. Sean, Jared both taking bogeys. Theth and Eric both with triple bogeys. So Jared is your winner for the 2013 Veterans Park Open at 8 under par. Congratulations, Jared. Everybody came out. Mike, thanks for sitting with me going over this.
Thanks for having me.
It was fun having you here for sure. So we will see everybody next time. And for Nice Shot Productions, I'm Seth Harwood. We will see you guys later.
He got one in there.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Nice Shot Productions. Again, I'm Seth Harwood. I'm joined here with Mike Hiller. So why don't you say hi, Mike?
Hello, everybody.
Really, you did that bad. We're
Yeah.
gonna try that again. For sure.
For sure. Oh my God, I said for sure again. That could be
That's
your
all right.
outtake.
For sure.
I said for sure again.
We're just gonna have for sure.
That's all I hear.